1664. I'm standing in a Virginia tobacco field at dawn, and everything about my life just changed forever. Yesterday, I was a free man, baptized as a Christian, working for wages, and planning to marry the woman I love. Today, I'm now enslaved. My future wife faces punishment for loving me, and my life is ruined by men who've never worked a day in their lives. This is the AP US History My Story podcast. Before 1664, there was this tiny window when things were different. Not good, but different. Some African Americans like me could work off their indenture, become free, own land, even vote. We were still treated like trash, but there was a slim possibility of freedom through Christian baptism. But 1664, that's when Virginia said, we're done with that. The colonial assembly, all white men obviously, decided that being Christian didn't protect black people from slavery anymore. Boom. Just like that, my baptism certificate became worthless paper. Within a generation of this law, slavery went from being one form of labor among many to being a massive, radicalized system that defined everything about colonial society. By the time your founding fathers were born, owning human beings was so normal they didn't even question it. Effing George Washington got his first enslaved person when he was 11 years old. 11! So here's the dirty secret of American history. The wealth that funded the American Revolution, built in our backs. The cotton that paid for those fancy colonial mansions, picked by our hands. The tobacco that created Virginia's aristocratic class, grown with our labor. And when those aristocrats got around to writing the Constitution, they made damn sure to protect their property rights, meaning us. So let's talk about America's founding fathers and what you won't read in your AP history textbook. George Washington, over 300 enslaved people. He had our teeth pulled to make his dentures. Thomas Jefferson, over 600 enslaved people, violating Sally Hemings and sold off their children. James Madison, over 100 enslaved people. Mr. Bill of Rights thought those rights didn't apply to us. Alexander Hamilton, even the good guy who opposed slavery, still traded enslaved people for his in-laws. Patrick Henry, 67 enslaved people. Give me liberty or give me death, but that's only for white people. Even Ben Franklin owned slaves, but at least he became an abolitionist later in life. The legal slavery framework created in 1664 lasted for 200 years. Every single economic advantage America had over other countries came from free labor. The profits from our work funded the banks, the shipping companies, the early factories. Northern merchants made fortunes shipping our cotton and rice. Northern factories processed our raw materials. It wasn't just the South, it was the entire American economy that was built on slavery. The laws passed in 1664 weren't just about controlling enslaved people. They were about creating a racial hierarchy that would define America for centuries. Those laws are why the civil rights movement had to happen 300 years later. Those laws are why we're still fighting for equality today. Like, follow, and share the AP US History My Story podcast, because these stories hit different when you hear the original voices that shaped our country, even the ones they tried to silence.